everyone, and welcome back to Stamp with Anna. Today is day 3 of our apron cards, and this is the apron that we're going to make today. I like it because it's flowery, and I thought it would be a good way to give someone a little seed packet in here as a thank you, or just slip in a little note that says thank you, a little birthday greeting. You can use this for so many great occasions. So this is made very similarly to the one that we've made over this week so far. Let's see, on Monday we made this coffee one with a little gift card holder, and yesterday we made this little gingerbread one as a Christmas card, and today we're going to make this one. It's plain right now, but at the end I'll show you how you can dress up these little pockets for different occasions. But for now, let's just make the card. So we are going to make it a little differently though, because I ran out of Calypso Coral ribbon, and I really do like the Calypso Coral, but because Stampin' Up's paper packs, when you get them, they list all of the different colors that are in that paper pack. It's so easy to find another color that is going to coordinate nicely. So instead of using Calypso Coral on the one we make today, we're going to pick up this Pacific Point, and it's going to look equally as nice. So what we need for our card is a piece of thick Whisper White. It's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Then we need our patterned paper, our designer series paper, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then we need some little pieces of paper. The Pacific Point is 1 by 1. Excuse me. The pattern paper is 1 by 1. In the Pacific Point, I started out with 1 1/4 by 1 1/4, but we're going to trim that down just a bit. Then we need another piece of the same pattern paper, because the back side of it is this pretty green on it. So instead of having it go this way, we're just going to flip it over and take advantage of the other beautiful side. And this one is 1 1/2 by 3 1/4, and then another matting piece in Pacific Point, which is 1 3/4 by 3 1/2. Then for ribbon, instead of the Calypso Coral, I am using this Pacific Point. And these here on this card were made with little strips of cardstock, and that was because the seam binding that I made these bows out of was too see-through, and you could see the print come through, and I wasn't crazy about that. But on this one here, I'm going to use ribbon, so it's going to have a little different look. So the first thing we're going to do is attach our designer series paper to the front of our card, and I'm going to use my fast fuse here. I just have to line this up so that it's nice and even. Okay, perfect. Now we need to make our armholes, or for the front. And what we're going to do there, just as we've been doing all week, is we're going to take our ruler and we're going to come in and measure at 1 from either side. Excuse me. And then down 2 3/4. Then, using the largest oval from the Layering Ovals framelit set, and if I could just go off here for a minute, the framelets that are layering ovals, layering squares, layering circles, those are a super excuse me, investment. you get so many of the shape. So in the oval one, you get all these ovals, and then you also get scalloped ovals so that you can do lots of layering. Those, I think, are an invaluable addition to your crafting supplies. But anyway, back to the card. What we're going to do is we're going to, because we know that the cutting blade is on the inside of this, we're going to line that little tick up mark up right there, and this one right here down the bottom. See that? And we're going to lightly make a line with our pencil. Then I'm going to go through and run this through the Big Shot, and I will be right back. Okay, and I'm back, and I've cut out this little piece right here. Now, you might say, if I made these tick marks, why did I draw that line? That's because it makes me feel a little better that I know when I'm at my machine, if my blade is right on that pencil line, I know I'm cutting exactly where I want to go. I don't have to second guess, geez, is it this way, is it that way? I know exactly where I want it to go. And that's just because I want this to be perfect. Is anything really perfect? But anyway, I digress. Now we're going to take this little piece and turn it over and bring it up to this corner here. And we are going to pencil mark that. Then we're going to take our framelit, we're going to line it up with that mark, and we're going to run that through. Now again, the reason that I make my tick marks is because, and I save this piece, is because although when you're lining everything up, it might look like they're even, and then after you cut them, you got them a little wonky. This is going to ensure that your both of your sides are the same. So I'm going to go run this through the Big Shot, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now my pocket holes, my armholes are cut. Now you'll notice that these have a little turn to them, and an apron really isn't like that. So in order to make that more realistic looking, we're going to take a ruler, and we're just going to make a line so that it will become straight. And then with our snips, we're just going to trim along that line. And now our apron is straight. And if you have any pencil marks, you can just erase them. See how that looks much better than having the little twirl on it. So now we have our apron, and it's going to open up like this. We just have to put it together now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mount our large pocket. And center that up. Perfect. And now we're going to put some ribbon on it. So I'm going to put some ribbon on the ends here towards the bottom. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. A little bit of fast fuse there. Wrap that around. And there we go. Now I want to attach this to my apron. So I'm going to put fast fuse on 3 sides of the pocket. And then I'm going to center that up right here on the front of my apron. Now I have already made a little bow from a piece of that same Pacific Point ribbon, and I'm going to attach it with a little glue dot, and it's going to go right there. Now we're going to make our pocket. So we're going to attach this little piece here to our Pacific Point, and I want this to be a small border, but don't worry that it's not even. Oh, actually, before we do that, we do need to trim the little corners here on the bottom. Just freehand those. Okay, now we're going to put that on this. We want a small border. We don't want it to overtake. And now obviously that is very uneven, but I find working with the larger piece of cardstock is easier for me than trying to maneuver with the thinner one. So I'm just going to come in with my paper snips and freehand that border. And there we go. Now I'm going to put a little bit of fast fuse just on the side and the bottom. I'm going to put that right here in the center. And then I made another little bow. It's here somewhere. In the same blue ribbon that I'm going to attach right there. Hold on one second, I have to find it. Okay, here's my little bow that I've already made, and I'm going to use some glue dots to get that attached, and I'm going to put the glue dots on the loops of the bow, as well as right here on the tails of the bow, because I do want this bow to have some tails. And because it's so small, it just might take on a life of its own. So I'm going to prevent that and put some glue dots on it. So I'm going to center my bow, and then I'm going to adjust it so that it is exactly where I want it to be. Over in the center. There we go. Now all we have to do is put our holes, and I'm using my Crocodile. You can use a 2-hole punch, you can use anything you like. So I'm going to turn my card over, and I'm going to roughly mark where I want my holes to be. I am using a 1/8 hole, and I'm going to take my ribbon, and I'm going to cut this at an angle so it'll go through the hole nicely. I'm going to go, and then I'm going to come out back to front. After I get it in, I'm going to make a bit of a loop. I'm going to make just a knot, a regular knot on this end here. And then I'm going to do the same on this end here. After I straighten the ribbon out, I don't want it curled back there. And make another knot. And then I'm just going to trim this end right there. And there we have it. This one in Pacific Point, and this one in Calypso Coral. Same design, but a different look. Or I should probably make this a tiny bit smaller. Same design, but a different look. Now, how can you use these? Well, I'm going to show you. So we have our cute little cards, and what are we going to use them for? Well, here's a couple ideas. You can make from the Teeny Tiny Wishes, which is one of my absolute favorite stamp sets, and this truly is a great investment because it has a ton of little sentiments that fit in the most perfect places. Just take Just For You and put it in that pocket. If someone you know is a baker and they're retiring, you know they're going to be spending lots of time baking when they retire. Happy retirement off to the side, just like a recipe card would look. Or if someone did something nice for you, again, a little tiny little thing. Thank you. It's someone's birthday. Happy birthday. And if you've done the cooking, the baking, and you just want to give someone what you've made, there you go. Sweet treats. So there are so many ways that you can use this little apron. It's a great way to just send someone a card, and also a great way to accompany a gift. So I hope you'll give this a try. And I just love the bright colors. I love the bright colors, and this is a good way to show you that you can mix and match the papers that are in Stampin' Up's Designer Series papers so easily. Because like when you looked at this card, this paper, automatically, to me anyway, the Calypso Coral popped out. But when I ran out of Calypso Coral ribbon, I was quickly able to just look at the list of the coordinating colors and pick Pacific Point, and it just looks just as beautiful. So there you go. There's day 3 of our apron card. I hope you'll join me tomorrow for day 4, where I have a great masculine card for you. Thanks so much. See you tomorrow. If you have any questions about this project, certainly contact me through my blog, www.stampwithanna.blogspot.com, and there you will find a tab to contact me, and a tab to shop, as well as a tab to subscribe to my newsletter. And one of the benefits of subscribing to my newsletter is that once a week when I send out my newsletter, you'll get a link to all of the projects that were posted that week, in case you missed any on YouTube, or if they didn't make it to YouTube. Sometimes I don't always make a video. And you can also be the first to get information on Stampin' Up promotions and sales. So I hope you will subscribe while you're there, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.